Before Operation Rising Lion began, there was a secret mission known as Operation Red Wedding, a plot to eliminate the entire top tier of the Iranian military leadership. The codename, likely inspired by Game of Thrones, hinted at the brutal and calculated nature of the plan. This was followed by Operation Narnia, a chilling campaign aimed at systematically targeting Iranian scientists one by one. These operations reflect a significant shift in Israeli tactics compared to their previous approaches. We'll also explore their evolving strategy, the operations themselves, and the advanced weapons systems involved, all in the video ahead. Israel's Operation Red Wedding. On June 13, 2025, as part of the broader Operation Rising Lion, Israel launched Operation Red Wedding, a highly coordinated strike that killed around 30 senior Iranian generals within minutes. The operation targeted a fortified underground bunker in Tehran, where Iran's top missile and drone commanders were secretly meeting. The name, inspired by the infamous massacre from Game of Thrones, reflected the ambush-like nature of the mission, the deception that made it possible. Israeli intelligence had been working inside Iran for years, blending into local communities, gathering intel and hacking communication channels. Through a long-running deception campaign, Israeli spies fed false intelligence to Iran's leadership, prompting them to schedule a high-level military meeting at a specific location and time. To sell the ruse, Israel staged diplomatic theater, including fabricating tensions with the United States, to convince Iran the coast was clear. Believing the bunker was secure, Iran's top missile and drone commanders, including Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh of the IRGC Aerospace Force, gathered to plan retaliation against Israel. Unbeknownst to them, their movements were under constant surveillance. Signal interception, psychological operations, and electronic warfare were used to manipulate Iranian decision-making and ensure the meeting's timing. Once the generals were assembled, Israel struck. The strike and the weapons used. The strike was surgical and devastating. Over 200 Israeli aircraft, including F-15, F-16, and F-35, were involved, launching hundreds of precision-guided munitions such as JDAM bombs, Sparrow missiles, and Popeye cruise missiles. AI-guided systems and advanced targeting pods ensured pinpoint accuracy, destroying the bunker with minimal collateral damage. Drones and loitering munitions smuggled into Iran months in advance helped suppress air defenses and disrupt communications. Within minutes, the bunker was obliterated, killing them all inside. Were scientists present? While Red Wedding focused on military leadership, a simultaneous mission, Operation Narnia, targeted Iran's nuclear program. In a dramatic shift from past tactics, Israeli forces assassinated 9 of Iran's top nuclear scientists almost simultaneously while they slept in their homes. Inside Operation Narnia, this parallel mission unfolded just before sunrise. The scientists, experts in nuclear engineering, reactor physics, and chemical processing, had been tracked for years. By late 2024, Israel had compiled a hit list based on the scientists' value to Iran's nuclear program and how hard they would be to replace. Special classified weapons, likely variants of the Spike missile, were placed near their homes, possibly launched from drones or hidden ground units inside or near Iranian territory. These precision-guided munitions struck their targets in near-perfect synchrony, leaving no time for reaction. Operation Narnia was timed with the broader air assault to overwhelm Iranian defenses and ensure maximum effectiveness. With both missions executed in tandem, Israel delivered a massive blow to Iran's military and nuclear leadership within the span of a single morning. Then comes Operation Rising Lion, and the time interval between these operations is effectively zero, apart from Israel's previous strikes, whether in Syria, Iraq, or even during clandestine missions inside Iran, was the unprecedented fusion of on-the-ground infiltration, domestic infiltration, and high-precision aerial strikes. This wasn't just another isolated attack, it was a meticulously coordinated assault aimed at dismantling Iran's military infrastructure from within, delivered in a single synchronized blow. For months leading up to the operation, Israeli operatives were embedded deep inside Iranian territory. Working in absolute secrecy, Mossad agents smuggled precision-guided missile systems into the country. Among them were Rafale Spike NLOS, non-line-of-sight missiles cleverly mounted on mobile platforms and hidden inside civilian vehicles. These launchers were strategically placed near critical Iranian military assets, including surface-to-air missile batteries and mobile launchers scattered around Tehran. Hidden in plain sight, they sat silently in inconspicuous locations, waiting for the signal. When the aerial assault finally began, those concealed launchers sprang to life. Remotely activated, the missiles fire with surgical precision, striking multiple air defense sites before Iran's military could even react. But that was just one layer of the operation. Simultaneously, Israeli spy agency had constructed a secret drone base inside Iran, an effort that mirrored battlefield tactics seen in places like Ukraine, but taken to an entirely new level of sophistication and secrecy. The drones had been smuggled into the country piece by piece, assembled quietly over several months. The fact that such a facility could be built and operated undetected so close to Tehran revealed the extraordinary reach and meticulous planning behind the mission. From this secret base, waves of small UAVs and larger explosive-laden quadcopters were launched. These drones played distinct roles. FPV drones were the first to strike, hurtling toward air defense systems in suicide attacks, while the quadcopters followed up with targeted blasts to finish the job. Together, they neutralized critical SAM sites, including advanced S-300 batteries, effectively blinding Iran's air defense grid. Although Israel has been bombarding Iran's nuclear sites since June 13, 2025, it's worth taking a closer look at why these strikes continue to happen again and again. The answer lies deep underground, literally. These nuclear facilities aren't just hidden. They're buried under layers of reinforced concrete and soil designed specifically to withstand most conventional attacks. Israel has been using its own bunker buster bombs, but according to the International Atomic Energy Agency, these weapons have not been able to fully penetrate Iran's most fortified underground nuclear sites. That's why Israel keeps striking the same targets repeatedly. The aim is to chip away at the defenses layer by layer. If Israel had used the more advanced American-made bunker buster bombs, capable of deeper penetration, the outcome might have been more decisive, possibly damaging or even destroying the underground uranium enrichment facilities in one go. But this proves futile, as it did little damage to the underground bunker and needed the American GBU-57 for deeper penetration. The Israeli Defense Forces' primary goal is to cripple Iran's nuclear program by hitting its most critical enrichment sites, specifically Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. Take Natanz, for example. This facility includes 6 above-ground buildings and 3 underground structures, 2 of which are large enough to hold 50,000 centrifuges, according to the Nuclear Threat Initiative. After Israel's recent bombardment of the site, early assessments suggest the strikes were highly effective. They went far beyond surface damage, knocking out power on the lower levels where the centrifuges are housed. The above-ground section of the pilot fuel enrichment plant was also destroyed. This plant, operational since 2003, had been enriching uranium up to 60% purity. For context, weapons-grade uranium is enriched to 90%, so this site was dangerously close to that threshold. Now consider Fordo. Unlike Natanz, Fordo is located deep underground and protected by extensive fortifications. Israel targeted it with advanced bunker-busting munitions, but the results were far less conclusive. Their bombs struggled to break through the dense shielding. The damage was minimal, despite the repeated strikes. In fact, Israeli jets dropped these munitions multiple times on Fordo, triggering a localized earthquake measuring 2.5 on the Richter scale, an indication of the shear force being used. This site remains a major challenge, protected by both its geography and Iran's sophisticated missile shield. The reason Israel keeps returning to these same targets isn't just to make a statement, it's because cracking open Iran's nuclear program is a lot harder than hitting a target once and moving on. We make original animations from scratch with just 3 animators, so please subscribe, like, and comment for more videos.